So, last time I added spellcasting into my game. Now you can shoot flames and fireballs out of your hands. But currently there is nothing in the game to shoot at. So this time around I'll be working on the damage system of the game. First up, I made my way into Blender and made some simple animations for a player's normal punches. After importing the animations into Unity, I made a simple left-right combo system and added some colliders to our punches and made them trigger when we attack. Don't mind the finger, I'll fix that later. Nice, we can throw punches now. But there is still nothing in the game to punch, so... Boom! Bean! Now it was finally time to add the most important thing in every damage system. Damage numbers. Why damage numbers? Because... damage numbers! I followed this awesome tutorial on YouTube to make some flexible damage numbers that I could use anywhere. Big damage right here. After adding the damage numbers, I made a flexible element system using scriptable objects. In this way I can easily add new elements whenever I wanted to. This is how my element system currently works. There are 4 elements in the game at the moment: fire, nature, earth, and ice. Fire is strong against nature, nature is strong against earth, earth is strong against ice, and ice is strong against fire. If an element attacks an element that is weak against it, for example, if fire attacks nature, it would do double the amount of damage. But if nature attacked fire, it would do only 30% of the damage. Also, if 2 elements of the same type attacked each other, it would do 0 damage. And if it was none of these conditions, for example, if fire attacked earth or earth attacked fire, it would do normal damage. Also, there is a normal element in the game that is not strong or weak against any elements. After that, I made a script for my enemy so he can actually take damage. In this script I also put the elements into the account. After finishing the enemy damage script, I connected it to my damage numbers. I also made my damage numbers display different colors based on the element of the damage received. Oh, I also added this hit flash effect to make it look cooler. Anyways, after doing all that, I started working on my elemental attacks. I added some colliders to my flamethrower so it can actually do some damage. Then I made an explosion effect for my fireballs that deals damage to enemies that are in the blast radius. If you can't tell, I had no idea how to make an explosion effect, and all the tutorials on YouTube use shader graph to make explosions, and I have never used that before. So it goes into my I'll do that later box. After doing all that, my damage system was finally done. You can swap between your normal and elemental hands and deal damage based on your and your enemy's elements. Now it was finally time to work on the mana absorption system of the game. So I made my way into Blender again and made some animations for the mana absorption. Then I imported them in Unity, conjured some dark magic in the animator, and this is what we got. Now you can hold down E to go to mana absorption state. Game of the year right here. After figuring out the animations, I started working on the logic of the mana absorption. I added a radius around the player that he can absorb mana inside that radius. Then I made some mana absorption scripts for our player and the enemies, and I also put together a global mana manager. And with that, our mana absorption system is done. Now when you attack an enemy, if his HP reaches 0, it enters the absorbable state. In this state, if you hold down E, you can absorb his mana and add it to yours. And absorbing mana increases the damage you deal. But there is no way to tell if a bean is absorbable or not currently, so let me just... Oh, I also made it so that you have to hold down E for a while before absorbing the enemy, so they won't just get absorbed immediately. And that's pretty much what I've done so far. Now I need your opinion on some stuff. First one. So currently our fireball only deals explosion damage to enemies inside the explosion radius. Do you think it should stay like that, or make it so that if the fireball hits an enemy directly, it should deal extra damage? Now the second question. Currently when you hold down E to absorb enemy's mana, all of his mana gets absorbed when the enemy's absorption time reaches 0. Do you think it should stay like that, or make it so that his mana gets absorbed little by little, for example, 10 mana every 100 milliseconds? So stronger enemies would take longer to absorb and we could increase our absorption rate through upgrades. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.